Hi, I'm Cristina, and I'm a multimedia artist. Today we're going to learn about photography. But what is photography? So I broke it down here. Photo, light. It's the Greek word for light. And graphy, the field of study. So quite literally it means it's the study of light. It's the art or process of producing images by the action of radiant energy and especially light on a sensitive surface. We're going to go back to that sensitive surface in our second activity. But right now I want to focus on the art or process of producing images and talk a little bit about how and why I make images. So ever since the pandemic, I've been making video journals of me around my house, me going to work, just day-to-day activities to kind of show the difference of living in the midst of a pandemic. In the past I used to make photo portraits, but both are outlets for me to work through my emotions and different aspects of my identity. And emotions and identity can feel like chaos for me. They're sometimes they're unpredictable, they're disorganized, and they're formless. And I think this can all feel uncomfortable. And one way I like to express this is through this concept called mise en scène. Literally it means placing on stage in French, which makes sense because it comes from the art of theater. It's also defined as all the elements that appear on camera and their arrangements. So think maybe about your favorite movie or your favorite TV show, and what's the mise en scène of that? And what I mean is, how are they portraying the mood or the emotions or the tone of what's happening in that scene? So we do this through the setting. Where are we? Are we in a park? Is it like a birthday party? Is it at a home? Is it a character doing homework? Is it stressful? The lighting, is this in the middle of like a summer thunderstorm? There's flashes of light and it's dramatic. And the depth of space, I'm going to go into that in a moment. And then costumes and makeup and like so much more. Just anything you can put in the frame. For today, that is our mise en scene, the stuff. So color. I think color is another way that we can put color in a frame, so therefore I think for today that is mise en scene. Right here I have two images that, while they're taken in the exact same place, my parents' home, they feel different. This one is bright and vibrant, while this is black and white. And just off the bat, without even thinking what is in these photos, I think the color is just starting to portray a mood. And then another thing that we start to notice is the depth of space. So in this image, we're all on the same focal point, and there's no abstraction or obstacle as far as like understanding what the subject is. We're all on the same line, it's calm, everyone's happy, and there's nothing that's visually confusing about the image. Whereas this one we have to take a moment and kind of think about what's happening here. I'll give you a little bit of insight. This was taken 2017, pre-COVID ages, and this is right at the beginning, me doing a social distance visit with my parents, not being able to go into the house, and right here we actually see the rear view mirror of my car, and that's them in the window. So the two subjects are myself and my parents, and both are hard to see and are physically distant. And that's a mise en scène decision. I think that, I mean, it's sad, it sucks. I can't hug my parents, can't hug my friends right now. And I am choosing to represent that by showing the distance between where we're standing. So I think movement is another way that we can use to think about the concept of mise-en-scene. So I made this video back in 2017, and I was thinking about aspects of my identity that, just because of the way I look, I was expected to act a certain way, to present myself a certain way. So this video is expressing the inner chaos I had when I realized that I was kind of giving in to these expectations that were inauthentic to me. What about sound? In a movie, sound is in the frame. And so I made this video in March, right at the beginning when we were in lockdown. I was doing laundry in my kitchen because I didn't know if it was safe to go to a laundromat yet. I was listening to the news, I was listening to music, and there was just so much outward noise happening. So I put that all into one video, and you don't really understand like where the source is coming from, and cuts are happening fast. And I put that all in the frame to express an inner chaos that was happening as a result of the outward chaos that was happening in the world. And I reinforce it with a little haiku here. So I think for today's activity, mise-en-scene can also be writing. So we'll think about that too. So now I want you to think about the word chaos. What does it look like? What does it feel like? Who is it? Where is it? And when is it? When do you experience chaos? So for our warm-up activity, I want you to collect images that look like chaos to you. And then I'm gonna make right alongside with you, so now's the time. Collect a piece of paper. We have our photo corners that are in your camp kit. You have a Sharpie, but feel free to grab colored pencils, crayons, markers, anything that you can write with. If you have stickers at home, and we're gonna make a chaos collage. Alright, before we start our collage, let's review back to the beginning of this tutorial and think about our goals, and that is to learn photography and break down what exactly it is. So our two key things today are mise-en-scene, so what we put in our frame. So I know we're working on paper, but this is a frame just as if we were using a camera. We need to fill our frame with stuff. So that's what we're going to do now. And what we put in our frame expresses an emotion or a tone, and we can be specific in those tones based off of the colors that we use, the arrangement, and the objects that are in our scene. So I'm gonna set my collage up, my frame, as a landscape because that's the pictures I have. So if you don't have them, go grab your pictures of things that remind you of chaos. I have video stills of the little movie clip I showed you of me doing laundry in my kitchen. So I'm going to just start cutting these out. And again, since this is our theme and our emotion that we're trying to portray is chaos, I'm just going to work super fast here. Cut these out, and I don't even care if they... Let's see. I actually kind of like that the lines are really uneven. I think that's giving it already some character and some energy. Let's see. So I have me cleaning my fan, getting it ready to dry my laundry on. This is me rinsing the laundry in the sink. And actually, as far as this goes, I feel like, I don't know, this is a little bit distracting. So think about too, if you're cutting out images, this is a moment that you can crop out details that maybe aren't necessarily important to the narrative that you're trying to tell. Although in this case, I think I like everything, because I do want to emphasize that I'm doing laundry right in my kitchen sink. Alright, so I've cut out all my images. So I'm going to start with these photo corners. So I included photo corners in these kits because I think they're a way to preserve your images. I'm working with a little less delicate images, but you know, say you have like a family photo and you want it to last a little bit longer. These typically also tend to be acid-free, so that's kind of the benefits of using these little photo corners. Let's see. I really like this yellow tape because I think that it's bright and it's also the color of a lot of street signs. It's like a warning sign. So when you're picking out materials and colors, what do they remind you of? Where else do you see these colors exist in environments that you visit, that you live in, that you see, maybe that you see online? Everything has meaning. It's whatever you want to put in your frame. Now I'm just kind of using them as like patterns. I kind of want to recycle. I like this too. I'm going to recycle my picture that I cut out. Yeah, I'm moving. I'm intentionally moving fast here. Alright, and now for the Sharpie. Let's see, so when I was in the kitchen, a lot of music playing. Making bright lines here. There's water going everywhere. The fan is moving. So I'm putting arrows that kind of demonstrates the literal movement that was happening, and also kind of where my mind was. It was just everywhere that day. I was listening to podcasts, the news, so it's kind of an indicator of that. Maybe some music notes, listening to that. The news, just everywhere. Stressed out. Stop there for now and jump into our reflection questions. And I ask you, what's the mise-en-scene that you see in your collage? In mine, I see black and white imagery. So to me, it's a darker tone. I see these bright and kind of just intrusive shapes going into the images, and it's actually it feels almost disorganized, and it's hard to tell where the image starts and where the image stops. So I'm happy with that, because that's kind of how the day felt. I didn't know what task to do first, and everything was new and unfamiliar. So that's what that looks like to me.